So I made a video about pop-up shops, and I said vending events are a lot different than pop-up shops, and you guys got questions about it. So you guys got questions and I've got answers. You guys are watching Ask Stan the Man. How you guys doing? My name is Stan Banks from T-Shirt Side Hustle, and I help you start t-shirt businesses from home, wherever you at. And today we're gonna jump right into the difference between a vending event and a pop-up shop, and then how I would prepare for a actual vending event right after the intro. Let's jump right into it. Like I said, like this video, comment, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. If you got a question you want to see on a future version of Ask Stan the Man, put it down in the comments below, because you just might see it on a future video. This one comes from a video comment, and it says, now, what's the difference between a pop-up shop and a vendor sale? Or is it the same? Well, to answer this quite simply, a pop-up shop, which I described in the other video, you guys can check in the description. A pop-up shop is usually a collection of businesses setting up to vend at a location, right? Usually these businesses aren't brick and mortar. They might be home-based businesses, they may be hobby businesses, they may be operated through social media or online, but this gives them a chance to actually come to a location and actually vend for the event, basically to kind of like be in person, have people show up and support their businesses. Usually they're smaller, more intimate, and you know, like I said in that video, it relies on each business to bring out their crowd and kind of intermingle. And that's why in that video, again, you guys can check it out in the description, that's why I talked about how I would like make sure I find businesses that are cohesive in a way that their audience kind of overlap. Having a kids day, having a women's day, having a clothing brand day, where, you know, a lot of clothing brands don't operate in brick and mortar stores, or, you know, they operate online and through the DMs and through social media. But this will give people a place and location versus where usually these type of businesses are either just shipping, or if they really about their business, they out doing hand-to-hand deliveries and dropping off and meeting people and exchanging their product that way. So that's generally what a pop-up shop is. Now, on the other hand, a vending event is usually a lot larger, right? I've vended at all-star basketball games here in Delaware. I've vended at like conferences. You can vend at different like state fairs or like concerts that are held at like public parks. I've vended at colleges for like homecoming and sell merch, and high schools at homecoming and different games and stuff like that. So these events usually are like a lot larger, right? And there are a lot of different kinds of businesses that don't always overlap. So my idea for my Delaware clothing line is like, hey, I can vend at any event going on in Delaware because Delaware is my target audience. So how would I prepare myself for a vending event? Okay, I want to make sure that vending event's demographics actually match the demographics of what it is that I'm selling, right? My target audience. I want to make sure they fit into that range. Again, with my Delaware line, I felt like I could vend at any event in Delaware because my brand was about Delaware. So anywhere I go, it could have been a church event, which I've done before. It could have been any kind of event. As long as it was in Delaware, pretty much, I felt that I could vend at it, because usually and most likely the people coming to that event are local, and they are going to obviously be maybe interested in what I have to actually offer. Secondly, I'm gonna try to figure out, well, how many people have they had at this event in the past, right? Like, what is the expected turnout, right? Because again, this is going to give me a judge. Let's say at homecomings they get bananas, and I got a video I'll put down in the description for me previously vending at. It wasn't actually a homecoming, but it was like a senior day where they were doing a graduation rehearsal. I'll put that down in the comments, or sorry, in the description below, so you guys can check that out. But again, you just want to figure out how many people they're going to be expecting at this event, so you can get a good judgment off of how much stuff you actually want to bring to this event. Lastly, you also want to kind of consider basically how much the event costs, the same as I said with a pop-up shop, how much it's going to cost, what it's going to take you to break even, how many people you need operating your booth, and that's where I would kind of like judge my stuff off of, right? Because I just want to make sure that I break even on these events, right? I want to make sure I got the data, the same as what I said before, the data, because the next transaction is the free transaction. This one here has a cost of customer acquisition. In order to collect the data, I may give a little discount, I may give $5 off for following me on social media, sign up for my email list and all of this stuff, just so I can get you a purchase. And now when I remarket to you through these different areas, or whether you see it on my Instagram or whatever the case is, it will put you in position to purchase again from me in the future. Make sure you leave some business cards and do different things like that, right? So first off, I'm gonna be again worried about the break-even point. Now, for like the school cases, we always had the opportunity to vend at future events, right? So we were never worried about leaving with stuff, because we would just take this stuff, package it up, all right, pack it away. Now this does become like a headache of storing it and stuff like that, but we were never worried about having stuff left over, because we could always vend at another event, and we would just take the same stuff. We would check the stock, the inventory, and get it going. Now, when I find at vending events, it gets really, really tough to actually operate and maintain inventory, right? So this is kind of one of those things where it like becomes like a huge hassle after the fact, and making sure that you pack up properly and do different things like that. Sometimes I got like rained on at events where it's just like, man, throw everything in a box, but then later on it turns into somewhat of a problem, because we have to figure out exactly how we can check the inventory and stuff like that. We got to reopen it, go back through it. I think at one event we got rained on, it had like maybe 20 shirts that got like drenched, so I ended up just giving them away to some of the students that were leaving and stuff, and they were like, oh well. I said, y'all want them, they wet, y'all just gotta, you know, dry them or wet them, or and wash them, I'm sorry, and you guys can figure it out from there. So these are the type of things that you want to consider when it comes to vending, because these are all great opportunities. But again, if this isn't your typical business model, this could be somewhat of an issue coming up with it in the future. Basically, like figuring out how much stuff you want to take in, what is too much stuff to take in, how close is this to your target market, does it make sense for you to even vend at this event, how far do you got to travel, do you need to rent a van or a truck to figure this stuff out. Just a lot of different things that could possibly take place, a lot of questions that could be asked, and you're going to want to make sure you're fully prepared to vend at these types of events. So to sum this all up, pop-up shops are usually smaller, more intimate, a collection of businesses that may not necessarily have brick and mortar stores, and then a vending event is usually bigger, doesn't have a cohesive like set of businesses, because the audience is predetermined pretty much by whoever or whatever the cause is for that event, and you know, you can expect usually to sell a lot more at events that are like vending events, because it's usually a larger crowd per se, and it's kind of pre-done for you. So hope you guys found this video useful. Down in the comments below, if you are a person who vends a lot, let us know down in the description what you think, or rather down in the comments, what are some of the things that you consider when getting into different vending events and different things like that. What are some things that I missed? Put it down there so we can all learn from the comments here on this video. This has been your boy Stan Banks from T-Shirt Side Hustle. Peace.